Okay. Alright. Okay. The sound is. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hang on. Hang on. I forgot. How did I even forget about the game? Oke, jadi selamat pagi, selamat siang, selamat sore, selamat malam. Kapanpun kalian nonton video ini, welcome to my stream. And I forgot to load the game earlier, but now we are live. Sorry about that. Okay, we're gonna load the last save. Okay, so I enter the bathroom once more. Okay, so yeah, we found a dead body here in the bathroom. That was our last playthrough. So here he is. I put on the gloves that I had left in the sink. Did anybody enter or leave the hotel? Silver, I was at the reception desk all day. I was in a position to see everyone who entered or left. No one entered nor left. Someone in this hotel did it. There is no way around it. Is there any entrance to the hotel other than the front door? The back door is locked, and I have the key. Are you sure you had the key with you when Skoda died? Yes, it is always with me. There are no copies of that key, right? None. We don't have a master key either. I understand. Who did it, Silver? I can't answer that question until I make my investigation, Mr. Chalopnik. He falls silent. Now focus, Silver. We are investigating now. What is the cause of... Wait, there's a plot. I take a deep breath. First, how did he die, Silver? He was in the tub when we found him, so that probably means that he drowned. Was it the Vodnik that had done it? Nothing in the hair. I opened the tap of the bathtub. No water flows through. The water is off, so how did this bathtub get filled in the first place? Mr. Chalopnik, it's best if you don't touch the body with your bare hands. Do you have any gloves? I'd rather not touch him. Alright, if that's... Hey, wait, there's water here. Okay. Hey, we can examine the water. No. I crouch down and look at his wrists. No sign of fighting back in his arms or legs. So how did he die exactly? Silver, what about his hands? Let's see. I take a look at his hands and nails, expecting to find a clue. His nails are filed neatly and I can't see any scratches or bruises on his hands. I see no sign of struggle, Mr. Chalopnik. Skoda is being unhelpful once more. What about the curtain? Is there any clue in the curtain? In the knee? Oh, it's the wrist. No signs of fighting back in his arms or legs. Yes, the center. Yep, that's the same. This one? What about the hands? Okay, we have seen this. No sign of struggle everywhere. Wait a second. Does he have any gunshot wounds on his body? My room is right near his. If a gun was shot, I would have heard it. Yep, she would, but she didn't. Still, that doesn't take me away from looking at every inch of his body. He might have been killed when I was in the lobby after all. Oh yeah, that's right. There are no wounds on the back of his body. He is as white as a ghost. He is as soft as he could be. That means his muscles haven't stiffened yet. Did you see him after last night? No. I checked my watch. It's 9:50 a.m. The stiffening of the muscles and joints start 4 to 6 hours after death. Knowing that he came to get us at 2 a.m., this knowledge doesn't give us any clue on the time of death. You know a whole lot about how death works. Did you work as a nurse before? I just interviewed a few detectives while they were working. I see. I look at his nose again. What about his nose? It's not unusual to get a nosebleed if you're struggling for breath. Yep. His nose looks a bit more crooked than before. I touch the bridge of his nose. Wait, I can move it? I feel two pieces of bones rubbing each other as I play with Skoda's nose. What are you doing? His nose is broken. Did someone punch him in the face? Is this why he got nosebleed? Is Vodnik the type of person to punch detectives into tubs and drown them? That doesn't sound very supernatural. I hear the door of Skoda's room opening. It can't be Vodnik, right? Who's there? Where's Papa? Pavla, why are you here? I got curious. I couldn't find you anywhere. Silva, continue investigating. I'll keep Pavla outside. Sure. Chalopnik opens the bathroom door and leaves. I stare at Skoda. Who killed you? Not that you'll answer, right? I'm just trying my luck in case you become a ghost and want to answer me by possessing yourself. You look like someone who would become a ghost though. It's always the people who have tons of ego. You're one of them for sure. Don't be shy. Let's say you took too many sedatives, lost your balance while you were bathing, hit your nose on the tub, and then somehow you magically fell into the tub as if you were bathing again, in the exact position. Though I don't think this is the case. There are 100 possibilities, actually. Is it possible to reach a conclusion with my current knowledge? Looks like you've created another job for us, Ivan. I never liked you, you know. You were the epitome of unlikability and... Miss Silver, what are you doing? Cooper? How come I didn't hear you coming in? Oh, good evening, Saren. Good evening. Hello. Welcome to the stream. He looks nervous. Did you finish examining the body? Yes. I was never good at dealing with people's emotional states. I should continue investigating instead of talking with Cooper about it. I stand up and get out of Skoda's bathroom. Why are you here, Cooper? I thought I shouldn't leave you alone. I was doing fine. Excuse me for saying this, but if I observe correctly, you were talking to Mrs. Skoda's body. Anyway, we should be searching the room for clues. Cooper doesn't respond to my attempt of changing the subject. Yep, of course he didn't wash his clothes. His clothes are folded and placed on the bed. Did he fold his clothes before entering the tub? I inspect each one of them to see if there's something wrong. Miss Sulfur, I think we shouldn't do that. Why? Doesn't that count as disrespecting the dead? What would Cooper think if he learned that I played with Skoda's nose? It would be more disrespectful if we couldn't find his killer. Cooper. Yes. His trench coat is wet. Does that mean anything? Of course it does. You're a detective, you don't know that. I take the wet cigarettes and lighter out of the coat's pocket. The wet cigarettes and softy mentolinos, as I thought. I guess you won't be using the lighter anymore. I put it into my pocket. Lighter seized. Miss Silver, did you find an evidence? Yes, there are the room keys in his pocket. What about the lighter? Is that a piece of evidence? No. Then where did you take it, Miss Silver? It's a good lighter. Miss Silver, please put it back. Please. Lighter thrown away. Yep, thrown away just as soon as we got it. No clues. Any clues? Oh yeah, there's someone. There isn't anything notable on the desk. Is that a notebook? I see Skoda's notebook hidden behind the desk. It's an amateur move to hide his important files in here, though at least it would throw off the mundane people. I take it out. I can see some notes and documents folded inside. I open the cover. I notice that he has used the notebook as a diary too. He's written a few entries using this as a diary. We shouldn't look at it then. It might be private. He isn't here to judge us. Miss Sulfur, do you know what you're saying? It may contain some piece of evidence. Besides, he read our mail. No secrets between the bureau workers, right? No man becomes a saint just by dying, Cooper. I know. As far as I've noticed, Chalovnik opens his safe every Sunday morning to check if the spare keys are in place. I told Willem to find the password of the safe and take the key. If possible, he will put the key back to the safe in every Saturday night. Chalovnik trusts Willem since he's been working here for years. Willem is the one who is staying at the receptionist's counter every Saturday. It must be easy for him to do that. Nice. What day is it today, Cooper? Wednesday, Miss Silver. Update. He yelled at me when I told him about this. I'll lose all the trust Mr. Chalovnik invests in me, he said. There's no way of that happening to the cop. Do you want your cousin to die? I replied. He obeyed reluctantly. It's unbelievable how stupid he is. What? That's that's horrible. That's shock. Yep, he is a horrible person, yes. That's Skoda. Mr. Willem shouldn't know about this. Mm-hmm. With Silva, I still think we shouldn't read Skoda's diary any longer. Actually, I want to keep on reading. I can't sleep tonight too. Can't really find what keeps me awake at night either, huh? I thought he has sleeping pills. Somehow everything bothers me. People usually say that writing down the worries would help, though I doubt it. I doubt everything. Maybe that's the reason why I'm unable to sleep. Or maybe I can't sleep because they took my gun. Charlotte says that I should get some remedy for it, though my only options looks like it'll put in a deep sleep. It doesn't relax me to know that I won't be able to wake up in a crisis. It must be nice to sleep without the fear that someone might be trying to kill you any second. So that is why we couldn't find his gun anywhere. This explains a lot. Can we stop reading it? It's not your diary, okay? Now that I've read about Kara's letter to Sulfur, I'm even more sure that something suspicious is going on. She doesn't use a language like that to any of us, not share information. She even forgot Cooper's name. Maybe the reason why Sulfur got assigned here was because she had a friend in the back, or in this case, Piero. It's not good to see cases like this, especially in this time of massive unemployment. There's barely any budget to operate a supernatural bureau, and spending the money for useless international jobs like this doesn't make any sense. Daichi also mentioned that she doesn't trust Karat or Silver. I believe she's researching something that might be useful for us to use against our odds. Dacia? I also have no idea who that is. Of course you don't. That is not. I see. I think we have seen enough of his diary already, Miss Silva. No, no, no. This is keep getting interesting. What are these for? That's. There's a picture here. Oh, there's Miss Karat, Mrs. Skoda, and Mr. Renault. Miss Karat, Skoda. This one is Karat, Skoda, and Renault. I believe this person is Dacia since Skoda mentioned a she. It's a lovely picture. Mm-hmm. Looks like it was taken before I started working on the bureau. Was it telegraph notes? Let's look at the telegraph. It's a telegram that Karat sent him. Is it the one that is informing about us coming here? Yeah, it says, I look at the telegram, which clearly say Laura Silva and the ginger boy. Oh no. Please tell me this is a joke, Miss Silva. This isn't a joke, I think. Unfortunately, no. There's the official stamp of the bureau. Carrot is an airhead. How did she become the leader of this place, I wonder? What about the notes? There's the same information that Carrot wrote, this time in Skoda's handwriting. I assume he made a copy when he read Carrot's mail. The notes below read as, tell Willem about Vodnik, huh? Don't forget to reply to Dacia's letter. Okay, what's that about? There isn't anything notable on the desk. Oh, we've seen this. Okay, so is there any way to skip this? Nope. There's no way to skip it. We have to uh, press the button. Ginger boy. So what about outside? There's nothing outside under the door. There's a dent on the door. Something must have hit it for this to happen. I will keep this in mind. Someone knocks on the door. Silver, Cooper, are you done yet? It's Charlotte's voice. I open the door. Have you found anything? Not yet, Mr. Chalopnik. May I ask you for a favor first? What is it, Silver? Would you gather everyone in the hotel in the lobby? I see. The culprit must be one of us after all. I wonder if I can make Mr. Chalopnik believe in the existence of a supernatural being. I'll be searching the backyard for a while. I'll join you after that. Chalopnik raises an eyebrow. How can we be sure that you won't run away? If you're the culprit, it'll be easy for you to leave the crime scene. I'll leave Cooper here. What? Miss Sulphur, I'm not something that you can leave behind. If not, then you have no worth. If I run away, you can reach me through Cooper. We work at the same bureau. Besides, he has the car keys. Well, fair enough. Miss Silver? I'll be back soon, Cooper. I went down the stairs. The water was supposed to be cut off. Then, how did the culprit fill Skoda's bathtub? Someone must have entered the boiler room to open the valves, and must have closed them back again after killing Skoda. Mr. Chalopnik must have seen the person entering the boiler room if he has been at the reception all night, like he says. But he never mentioned seeing Cooper entering the boiler room at all, did he? He didn't mention hearing anything either. It is true that he has hearing problems because of his days of war, but he must be able to see, unless... I look around for the metal door that leads to the boiler room. I stand near the door and look at the reception desk. I can't see it properly. The wall is blocking my sight. Now I understand why Chalopnik hasn't seen the culprit enter the boiler room. It's on his blind spot. I push the iron door, but it doesn't budge. Is it locked? I press my ear against the door. I hear faint sounds of splashing. Does it mean that the boiler room is flooded? If the boiler room is flooded, it means that the clues are lost. Was the Vodnik the one who murdered Skoda? We closed the valve to prevent his access to the hotel, but he might have exploded the pipes while coming here. That would explain why the boiler room is underwater. And if he damaged the pipes, it would explain why the water is still off. I push the door again. It won't budge. I'll need to ask Chalotnik to open this door. I give up on the water tank for now and go to the backyard. I need to find that pot. There's something suspicious about how it disappeared. Ah, here's our pot. Shattered, just like me. Edgy. I crouched to take a closer look. Though, even if this confirms that the pot certainly did fall down, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Only a heavy storm would have caused this pot to fall down, and there wasn't one last night. Interesting. I should see if there's any clues in the backyard. Hmm. 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 Wait, is that a child on the ground? Who's she? Have we met her? Nope. That isn't a comfortable place to sit. Is he sleeping? The child is a he. There's no way he jumped down from Skoda's balcony to here after killing him, right? As far as I remember, the Vodnik can't shapeshift, so at least it eliminates the possibility of him being the Vodnik. I won't assume little children are culprits as long as they don't behave suspiciously. I crouched next to the child. Hey. No reply. He is well dressed. Looks like he's from a rich family. Hey! No response. I hold his shoulder and shake him. He can't be dead, right? Did Vodnik kill a child too? I close my hand over his nose and mouth. I can't sense any breathing. He opens his eyes. What are you doing? Why are you here? You answer my question first. I was checking if you were alive. Well, as you can see, if a person opens their eyes, it's sort of obvious that they are alive. Yes. Yes, is that it? Why are you here? First, you must ask who I am, commoner. Then we can talk. Commoner? Who are you? Wait, is the sound too loud? I think the sound's a bit loud. I'm Uri von Gelden. I would say that it's nice to meet you, but you haven't told me your name yet. I'm Laura Silva. That's... Okay, how do I voice this child? I don't know how to make a little voice. That's cool. What is your name? I thought my hair color was being checked out. You also have golden hair, don't you? Like your surname. He stops and looks down. Am I wrong? It isn't gold. He mutters. This is just another tone of yellow. That's not something to be down about, is it? Anyway, I'm going to call you Silver. Sure, I'll be calling you Uri, if that's okay with you. Even though being called as casually as that is a bit infuriating, I guess being friends with an inferior or wouldn't hurt my pride. I sigh. Why aren't you getting up, Uri? None of you business, Silver. A peasant like you should know when to leave that king alone. Isn't your family worried about you? He stares down again. I guess he's like me. Get up, Uli. You can get some rest in the hotel. I am not a child. What are you? The king of Hanover. Hanover? Then what are you doing in Czechoslovakia? I hear sounds coming from the right. Is there something in the bushes? He's a king, like a real king. Silver, pick me up. Huh? Hurry up! It's coming! What? I'll explain later. Let's just get out of here. I hear another rustle. I guess I should pick the kid up and rush inside. Am I curious about what is there? Of course I am. But I can't investigate now. Not when there's a kid with me. I'm a responsible adult. Will you hurry up? I pick hurry up and start jogging back to the hotel. Are you alright, Uri? Yes. Did that thing hurt you? Go faster, Silver. Do I look like a horse to you? Even though Uri had multiple layers of clothing on him, his wrists were freezing. How long has he been sitting out there? I'll have to ask you a lot of questions. Okay. Everyone is gathered in the lobby, except for Mr. Cholopnik. I see Willem is sitting on a couch, staring at the void. Mr. Cholopnik didn't see anyone entering the hotel last night. So that leaves Miss Blanca, Mr. Willem, Mr. Cholopnik, Miss Silver, and myself, which means everyone. This means we have 5 suspects. Make that 6. Excuse me? Excuse me? Yeah, how was his voice? Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? What the hell? The child in my arms started to struggle in panic. What kind of treacherous ambush is this? I'm joking, Uri. Calm down. I put Uri on the ground. He balances himself on his feet. He looks like he's having a hard time doing that, still grasping into my arm. Is there a problem with his legs? You are not funny. Miss Silver, who is that child? I'm Uri von Gelden. I thought you weren't a child. I found it sleeping in the backyard. I wasn't sleeping. I was exploring. Right. What an adorable young boy. I may be cute, but I'm pretty dangerous. Oh my. Where's Mr. Cholopnik? He told us that he would like to spend some time with Pavla before coming down here. I see. So, while we're waiting for Mr. Cholopnik to come, I cast down to look Uri in the eye. So you're a king. You mentioned that you were a king. I'm the king of Hanover, Uri von Gelden. I hear Miss Frubalova giggle. What are you dealing with here, Your Majesty? What kind of business are you dealing with here, Your Majesty? None of your business, peasant. Young lad, where is your home? What did you say? I simply asked where. I'm not some young lad. Cooper guessed. Also, I already stated that I'm from Hanover. And what is the King of Hanover doing here? And what is the King of Hanover doing here? A commoner like you shouldn't meddle in royal business, Silver. Know your place. How did you come here? By myself? Huh? I'm capable of doing things like that. I'd rather solve a murder case while juggling knives than deal with this child right now. I stand up. Cooper, do you know who is the current king of Hanover? Hanover doesn't have a king. What? What's wrong with Silver? What happened to the kingdom of Hanover? It is currently a part of the Germans, as far as I know. Oh. It looks like I'll have to do some reading on history. Anyway, where's Mr. Chalupnik? We shouldn't lose any time. Before that, Miss Silver? Yes, Miss Frivolova. Are you aware that Mr. Chalupnik doesn't believe in the supernatural? I am. So, without a doubt, he thinks that someone in this hotel has done it. Yep, he thought so. What did you say? I can see that, yes. Do you also think it's one of us, Miss Silver? I don't know yet. We have to hold a meeting. We'll also have to look at the Vodnik's toy shop. We shouldn't jump to conclusions. Rudy squeezes my arm. I agree, but Miss Silver, we all know the water was cut off. The fact that the bathtub was full is scaring me. The killer might have opened the vaults back again, then closed them after killing Skoda. But what happened here, Silver? Udi, shush. I just want to know what happened. If you tell us what's been following you, we will. He doesn't reply. Silver, what is the explanation of this? We were waiting for you, Mr. Chalupnik. I can see that. Who is this child? I found him in the backyard. Where is his family? I think he doesn't have one. He might have run away. We must take him back to his home, Silver. What were you thinking when you brought him here? He was running away from something, Mr. Chalupnik. I couldn't leave him defenseless against possible danger. He was running away from what? He hasn't told us yet. And you just picked it up and ran. Circumstances demanded so. We can take care of that after the police arrives. It'll be safer for him that way. Alright. Are you talking about me? Are you talking about me? This man wants to know who you are. I'm Udi von Gelden, the King of Hanover. Chalupnik reaches his hand out for a handshake. Nice to meet you, fellow king. I'm also the king of this area, Jindrak Chalupnik. Udi shakes his hand. Nice to meet you too. I hope that our countries will be on peaceful terms in the future. I thought that wasn't his voice. Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too. I hope that our countries will be on peaceful terms in the future. Chalupnik nods. However, I see that you're wearing my daughter's gloves, Your Royal Highness. What? Udi squeezes my arm harder. I don't want a war to start for a reason like this, but the princess might not be as understanding as I am. Chalupnik looks at me. Silver, you said you would do your best to deliver my daughter. Salah ini cendrik. Silver, you said you would do your best to deliver my daughter's gloves back to her, yes? Is it the right time for this? We were just about to start the meeting. Mr. Chalupnik stares at me. I don't think it would be appropriate for a child to be present during this meeting. He can go to Pavla's room, but not when he is wearing her gloves. These are my gloves. These are my gloves. These are my gloves. I want to start the meeting as soon as possible. I crouch down again. Udi, let me take a look at your hands. No. Cooper, show me your sketch. Right away, Miss Silver. Cooper opens his notebook after a brief pause. It's identical. Look. So, she might just have a similar pair. These are my gloves, Silver. You can't blame me for something I haven't done. It'll be a problem for us if Pablo thinks Uri is the thief. After all, Chalupnik's beastly daughter will never forgive him. Be honest with me, Uri. He pouts. So? Silver, I want to talk about this with you in private. I can't handle being in the same room with so many peasants. You can whisper into my ear. Won't they hear? Not if you speak softly. He bent down. Silver. Yes? Would you help me? How? I'm the one who took them, but I can't give the gloves back. Can't give the gloves back. Why is it? Why can't you give the gloves back? What's wrong with your hand? Why is that, Uri? It's about the Vodnik you mentioned. Looks like everyone I meet has something going on with the Vodnik. I wonder if he lives nearby. I can't tell the details just yet. He looks out of the window at the bushes where I met him. Please, let me keep the gloves, Silver. If I do that, will you tell me what you know? He nods. And when exactly will you tell me? I will. He raises his voice. You all mentioned a meeting. It must be important. I'll wait until it ends. Looks like he's trying to buy some time. As long as he tells me where the Vodnik lives, it's fine by me. I stand up. Mr. Chalupnik, please tell Pavla that I'll buy her another pair of gloves. She'll make a fuss over it. Hmm. You better buy her better ones now, Silver. I'm not, appreciating the fact that he didn't make this a huge deal. Do we start the meeting now? Chalupnik sighs. Young king, I can't have you listen to our talks. I'm 200 years old. You're like a baby to me. Uli drops himself on the couch. I know everything the world has to offer. I'm more accustomed to death than any of you. He smiles. I won't budge. Chalupnik takes the boy in his arms. I think I better save before something bad happens. Let's save here. What are you doing? Taking you to Pavla. You'll play with her until our job is finished. No, you can't do that. I'll return and listen to you. Then I'll take you back to Pavla's room until you learn to sit still. Maybe you'll return her the gloves too. These are my gloves. Silver, come here and save me. I watch as he is taken upstairs. What did he tell you? Miss Silver? The kid knows something. How? The one following him might have been the Vodnik. He knows where he is. Did he tell you anything? I shake my head. These are just my assumptions. He might have been trying to deceive me too. I don't know just yet. I don't think a child his age is that prone to lying, Miss Silver. He's different. I can sense it. He seemed like a regular child to me. It's true that he is a smart one though. What kind of difference are you talking about? I don't know. I see Mr. Chalupnik walking down the stairs. We can start the meeting. Finally. Mr. Chalupnik, did you make sure the children won't be interrupting the meeting? Scholar's room is already locked. Other than that, I don't think they will come downstairs. It seemed like they were getting along. I doubt it though. I'm sure Uli won't be coming downstairs. He has a problem with walking. He won't be using the stairs with ease. I sigh. So, can we start the meeting? Yes, Miss Silver. I cough a few times to get everybody's attention. Wait a minute. Can I refill my drink? Drink refill time. Drink refill time. Okay. I believe everyone here knows why we are having this meeting. Most likely, one of us is the culprit. I take a deep breath. I believe Skoda was drowned. However, he also has a nose injury, which could mean that he might have gotten punched in the face before he was drowned. He doesn't have any other visible injuries. I know that the murder happened recently between 2 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. Miss Rubalova, what were you doing? I was in my room, sleeping. When was the last time you saw Mrs. Skoda? When was the last time you saw Mrs. Skoda? Yesterday afternoon. What was he doing when you saw him? I don't know. I saw him in the lobby and we exchanged greetings. What is your room number, Miss Rubalova? I'm sleeping in one of the rooms on the ground floor, Miss Silva. I believe they are numbered. Can you tell me what you did right after you woke up? I did my hair and got dressed. I wanted to wash my face, but there was no water. I thought that there was a problem with the tap on my sink. When I left the room to report this to Mr. Cholotnik, Willem called me to talk with you. When do you wake up? When do you wake up? My schedule is kinda when the hotel is off season. I wake up at 8 a.m. I see. What do you think about that? What do you think about the case, Miss Rubalova? I know everybody in the hotel, Miss Silva, and I know you're a nice person too. What do you mean? You know what I'm trying to say, Miss Silva? She looks meaningfully at my pocket. I see the notebook is sticking out, so she thinks the Vodnik did it. Thanks for your cooperation. Mr. Cholopnik. Mr. Cholopnik, what were you doing at 2 a.m.? I was at the reception desk the whole night. Anything suspicious? Did you notice anything suspicious? Nothing concerning what happened last night, but I had to lock the boiler room's door. Why? Boiler room? The boiler room? The water must have started flowing for a brief period in the night, and the pipes couldn't handle the pressure. It's not something that should concern you, so he noticed. It happens frequently in winter. Last year, the lobby flooded several times because of it. It's a good thing we installed the metal door. At least it keeps the water inside. Okay. When was the last time you saw Skoda? Last night, when he came to greet you both. Huh. What is your real number, Mr. Cholopnik? I have my own room on the ground floor. So he stays near the entrance. What do you think of the case? I know that neither Rubalova or Willem are the kind of people to commit murder. You think I did it? Are you suspicious of me? Chalopnik shrugs. I won't say a thing before we find any evidence. Mr. Chalopnik, I'm sure that Miss Silver didn't do it. Why? Did you two spend the night together? No. Then you can't be sure, Cooper. You should choose who to trust wisely. Thanks for your cooperation. Willem, what were you doing to me? I called Willem's name, but it looks like he didn't hear me. Miss Robolova pops in between us. Miss Silver, I think it's obvious that Willem didn't do it. Sending him to his room without making him a part of this investigation would be better. Miss Robolova, did you murder Ivan Skoda? Oh no, how could I? Do you think Mr. Chalopnik did it? No. Do you think me or Cooper did it? I think you're both kind people. Kindness does not bring innocence with it. I also assume you aren't blaming Pavla or Yuri. Of course not. I whispered into her ear. I also think the Vodnik is the culprit. However, we have to evaluate the facts first. I have to check that everyone's accounts are consistent. I just thought we should leave Willem out of this. I can see why you want that, Miss Robolova, but there is a chance that he is the murderer. I don't want to ignore that. She nods. I understand, Miss Silver. She steps back, observing us from a distance. Willem? What is it? Willem, what were you doing at 2 a.m. this morning? 2 a.m.? I'm pretty sure I was asleep. Can you tell me what you did right after you woke up? I went downstairs and had a talk with Mr. Chalopnik before going to the dining hall. When do you wake up in the mornings? 7. I have to serve breakfast at 8:30 a.m. When the hotel isn't off season, I wake up at 6 a.m. So you were in your room between 2 and 7? Yes. Mr. Chalopnik, can you confirm that you've talked with Mr. Willem this morning? I can. We talk about the weather and how we always talk about the weather every morning. Willem smiles. It feels so distant now, like it happened months ago. When was the last time you saw Ivan Skoda? He stays silent. Do you mean his corpse or alive? Yesterday afternoon. What was he doing when you saw him? Taking a stroll in the hotel? Did he do that often? Did he do that often? Almost every day. It looks like Ivan did nothing else except from occupying space in this hotel. What do you think about the case? I'm not the person you need to ask. Pardon me? I don't want to blame the guest, but I'm almost sure that it was you. And why is that? Isn't it obvious? The man dies the night you come here. He's got a point. I don't have an alibi either. I'm the perfect suspect. What a terrible situation we're in. I also know that you're hiding your real job from us. One would think that you would reveal it to get rid of suspicion. One would also think that being a detective doesn't get rid of any suspicion. He grimaces. Seems like my snark isn't appreciated. Too bad. So, tell me how I did it. You may have somehow stolen my keys, or picked his lock, or slipped in from the balcony. The balcony? The lock was broken, remember? What was I thinking? I never checked the balcony door. Skoda would have requested a different room if he had noticed the lock of the balcony door was broken. Could it be that the culprit broke it last night? When was the lock broken? I'm not sure. I never thought of checking while Zivan was staying there. I see. Tell me more about my balcony break-in. You got in from the balcony, and Zivan was taking a shower at that time, so you entered his bathroom and punched him in the face. Though it would explain what happened to his nose, the water was cut off, so he couldn't have been showering. I guess. And then, do you think Zivan died from a broken nose? I don't know. Did you strangle him? I may have drowned him too. We found him in the tub. It's sort of obvious. What sort of game is this, Silver? You have a point. Excuse me? You see, I hadn't considered the balcony as an entrance to his room. You're an extraordinary detective, I must say. Entering from the balcony, lockpicking, stealing Willem's keys. Huh? You said that I could have taken your keys? You have Skoda's room keys? I gave them to you when you were about to shoot this door, though it happened a few minutes ago, Silver. Oh yeah, that's right. That happened. Right. You're the only one who has his spare keys, right? Yes. At least, I was supposed to be the only one. That's good to know. Now you think I'm the culprit. No, at least not yet. What do you mean? It's still a bit too early to be pointing fingers. He huffs. I need to ask Cooper what he thinks about all of this. Cooper? Yes, Miss Silver? What do you think? Oh, I don't know. I don't think that Mr. Willem is in a healthy state of mind right now. Also, I'm wondering about what Mr. Chalopnik will say about... I wasn't asking about the well-being of the hotel folk. Who do you think killed Skoda? I assume that it's most likely the Vodnik, Miss Silver. How? He may have drowned Skoda in the tub. I agree. We closed the valves to prevent him from coming here. It seems like our efforts were on suspicion. I tried checking the boiler room before coming here. Did you find any clues? No, I couldn't even enter it. In fact, it's flooded. The water is blocking the entrance. That means closing the valves didn't do anything to begin with. The water could have entered the hotel just fine. Exactly. So, are we going to assume that the culprit is the Vodnik? Isn't it obvious? Not really. But I respect your decision, Miss Silver. Fine. Then, if the killer is the Vodnik, would you do the explaining to Mr. Chalopnik? Mr. Chalopnik, a ghost killed a person here. I say with a raised voice for Chalopnik to hear. Yes, Silver, and he leads. We have something to tell you. Have you heard of the Vodnik? He raises an eyebrow. I hope you will not try to convince me that an imaginary monster has something to do with this tragic situation. Mr. Chalopnik, Mr. Chalopnik, you know that we're shooting a documentary, right? I asked you a question, young man. I'll explain, of course. However, first, let us inform you that we are actually here to prepare an informative sequence about the myth. You came here to film the Vodnik? Exactly, Mr. Chalopnik. Do directors make films about ambiguous supernatural creatures, Silver? They do in England. The documentary you two are filming won't be a reliable source of information, it seems. Our aim is to introduce to our homeland. Our aim is to introduce to our homeland the folklore of the Pilsen. We think that a Vodnik might have killed Skoda, Mr. Chalopnik. I see. Now we have to deal with a couple of lunatics as well. Mr. Chalopnik, please let us explain. We have received reports on a Vodnik being here. We think that Skoda was targeted because he was also investigating the myth. Mr. Chalopnik, I'm sure you've noticed that the water was cut off. It must have been the Vodnik for sure, or else how would someone drown Mr. Skoda? We were the ones who cut the water off, but Chalopnik doesn't know about that. Trying to make him believe that something supernatural is going on is a good idea. Nice one, Cooper. You're disrespecting his death, both of you. Skoda wasn't a man who believed in some fairy tales. I can show you the notes Skoda took about the Vodnik, if you still think that it's a myth. It doesn't make any sense, Silver. How so? Isn't it obvious? Why would a mythical creature like the Vodnik punch Javan before killing him? He might have hit his nose on the wall or the top while trying to fight back. It seems more likely that you're the one who killed him. What? I have no proof of this, but I think you're the one who did it, and now you're blaming it on the Vodnik. I have no actual talent in conjuring water and filling tubs with it, villain. Willem, Mr. Chalopnik! Willem turns his head towards Frobolova. I know the Vodnik. I know that he's a man who is messed up the head. He might have been the one who caused this. I know the Vodnik. I know that he's a man who is messed up the head. He might have been the one who caused this. Frobolova, I never knew you were superstitious. I'm not superstitious. Mr. Chalopnik. I worked as his maid for years before he became a Vodnik. So that was the spooky fellow you mentioned once? What was his name? Emil? Emil Cladivo, yes. How come I've never heard you talking about him? I try to avoid the subject. Huh. Can you tell me more about this person? Of course, Miss Silva. Will you tell her the story you told me? Frobolova nods. 2 years ago. Wait a minute. I want to save the game at this point. Waste memory 0. Okay. That was really getting into the interesting part, but unfortunately the stream has gone a bit too long. It's already 1 hour, so yeah, I want to end this right here. That's really interesting. We got to the really interesting part of the game when we're talking about the Vodnik and trying to solve it. Well, not trying to solve it. The killer is the Vodnik. The question is how he did it. Anyway, I'm gonna close the game right now. That was really fun, and that was also pretty intense. It's a very good read, and yeah, really interesting. I'm gonna stream it again sometime. So thanks to everyone who came. I hope you guys enjoy what you see, and I'll see you next time. Mata ne.